Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Navadine here. If you're new, come one, come all. And if you're a long time subscriber, you know we love you like cook food. So let's get into the video.
Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly.
So you already see from the title of the video, today I'm reviewing none other than the newest release from KAYALI. I'm always excited to review a new KAYALI fragrance. I haven't been that excited for a brand since Fenty. Now let's get into the scent. So the packaging of this new release looks like this. Same as the others with the notes listed on the back here. This one is an eau de parfum intense. This frosted mint green bottle with a white cap, which is also frosted. I love the packaging. Okay, let's just get that out there. Before I sniff it real quick, I've had it only for a day, but I have been able to give it a wear test. So this is not my first impressions. The notes are pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. I'll be able to tell you obviously how long it lasted on me and what I get when I sniff it. From the cap, I get some sort of zestiness. It's not a sweet citrus or anything, and this was before I actually looked up the notes. When I first sprayed it, even without looking on the notes, I could tell that a citrus was in there. It smells a little bit to me like the rind of like lemons or lime, but lime is a bit more green, so I guess you could go towards lemons. And then quickly I get some powdery pistachio. So I know this says pistachio gelato, but I don't get a milky vibe from it. It's slightly creamy but still not lactonic. The creaminess kind of comes from it being powdery. It has that soft, airy, fluffy pistachio scent. It's as though you have a dessert that you have pistachio flavored dusting that you would sieve on top of your dessert. That's what it smells like to me. Let me just spray it all over while I'm sitting here. Might as well. I've had a shower and I haven't sprayed any fragrance. Definitely bergamot in the top. It's almost as though that's all I smell now when I first spray it. I don't pick up any rum, any sort of booziness. This is definitely not a very sweet gourmand like probably a lot of people would think, because it has all these edible notes. But I like the turn that it took with this, because if it did smell very sweet, it could probably be cloying. But the sweet notes in there are very fluffy sweet notes, so it makes sense that it comes off light and airy because it's cotton candy and it's marshmallow, and you know those things aren't syrupy sweet. It definitely has a freshness. This is definitely a spring summer fragrance, so I think it's perfect obviously for the timing that they've put it out. It's almost, it doesn't smell like soap to me, but it has that fresh what do you call, fabric softener vibe to it. I do get a little bit of the whipped cream. Instead of this smelling like a pistachio ice cream to me, it's more like a pistachio flavored macaroon. Not super sweet like the jam that would be in the macaroon, but just imagine the actual macaroon itself, like the wafer part of it. That's the vibe that I pick up from it. When I first smelled it today, I got a slight fruity sweetness from it as well, and I wasn't sure where that was coming from. It also deterred my mind away from thinking of it as an ice cream, but it would be more towards a sorbet. That's how I felt. A pistachio sorbet. That's the sweetness I was getting from it. And when I looked up the notes afterwards, it made sense that I was getting a slight fruitiness because it says it has white peach and pear in there, and I definitely could liken what I was smelling to those notes. But if I didn't know that those notes were in there, would I say, oh my goodness, I smell peach? If I didn't know they were in there, I would not be 100% sure, because I do think everything is well blended. I don't mind when I can't really pinpoint certain notes in the fragrance. It does not bother me at all once the fragrance smells good, unless that is the leading note and probably how the fragrance was advertised and that's the note that I want to be prominent, then I guess it would irritate me a little bit. You definitely get the pistachio and the bergamot in it. I think this is a very pretty scent. This is one of the prettier, unique scents in my collection because I don't have anything that has pistachio in there in my collection. And I also haven't smelled anything like this. But I also don't go around searching out pistachio fragrances. This fragrance definitely has an edible pistachio note to it. For a lot of people that prefer complex fragrances, I'm not sure what your take on this would be. I also am gonna try some of the layering combinations that Mona has suggested and let you know what I think about that. So the first one we're gonna do is Deja Vu's White Flower. I'm not really interested in putting the vanilla with it. I always find that the least interesting combo for me. It's just gonna sweeten it up a little bit, but for me now I'm gonna do it with the Deja Vu White Flower and see. I think it really tones down how sweet Deja Vu White Flower is. Deja Vu is definitely a juicy pear white floral leaning fragrance. It's definitely really pretty. This is holiday vibes as well. Putting these two together, it's so feminine, so pretty. I feel like the sweetness in this fragrance is a very delicate take on a gourmand fragrance. It's just a fresh, airy gourmand. I've not really smelled a gourmand done like this. A lot of times they overdo the sweetness, so I quite appreciate this in my collection. I saw a suggestion of mixing it with Utopia Vanilla Cocoa as well. I could imagine that that smells beautiful together. I also paired this fragrance with the Eden Juicy Apple and the Love Fest Burning Cherry. I felt as though both these fragrances overpowered the soft, powdery, fluffy quality of the Yum Pistachio Gelato. And I also paired this with Delina, and I loved it because it gave me Delina Exclusive vibes. You know, Delina Exclusive smells like a powdery macaroon, and it has that spicy citrus quality as well, but sweeter than Delina. Just put Delina and this together and you basically almost sort of kind of have Delina Exclusive. Longevity wise, I don't really notice it on me after spraying it in the first hour, but if I do put my nose to my hand, I do smell it. But just a powdery, airy, sweet-ish fragrance. As I said, not overly sweet. I'm also not super hard on summer or spring fragrances if they're fresh or light or soft, because I do think that in the summertime and in the springtime when it's warmer out, those are the sort of fragrances that we reach for. So it doesn't bother me at all. I'm more harsh on winter and autumn fragrances because I expect them to give me a punch, cut me through the cold. So I expect them to last long, and I expect to smell them in the cold. With lighter fragrances, they can get away with being very soft. So even if this sits closer to the skin, I feel it really just adds a sort of femininity or elegance to a fragrance. I think this is a really pretty fragrance, and well done to Mona and the team for this fragrance. I have also layered it with a lotion. I layered it with the Fenty Vanilla. I didn't feel like it done anything, but hopefully Mona comes out with a big body butter of their vanilla hand cream, and it really projects. When I use it on my hands, I'm always smelling it when I'm waving my hands around, so I'm hoping that they come out with that very quickly. I can only go in depth as much as what my nose as a consumer picks up. I cannot describe it like the noses that actually create perfumes, but from what I smell, it's very pretty. I'm happy to have it in my collection. Girls that are looking for new, soft, fresh spring summertime fragrances, I would say give this a try. I like it a lot, and I can see myself reaching for this a lot, especially because I'm bored of a lot of the fragrances that I have. So I'm looking forward to using this one. Are you guys excited to try this new release, or are you over KAYALI's releases? I mean, I don't think you guys should knock them or cuss about it, because a lot of people do that. When they're new brands, they start pumping out the products like one after the other because they're new. So yeah, Fenty did it, and I ain't heard nobody say nothing, and they still doing it. As long as it's doing what it's supposed to do, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. When the scent smell good. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.